Welcome to 10th Standard Social Science Model Paper 4. Four choices are given for each of the following questions or incomplete statements. Only one of them is correct or the most appropriate. Choose the correct answer and write the complete answer along with its letter of the alphabet. The first Anglo-Maratha war was ended with the Treaty of Salbai, Bessin, Pune, Amritsar. Correct answer is option A, Salbai. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel is called as the Iron Man of India because he formed linguistic states, blocked the attack of Pakistan, controlled communal violence, integrated the princely states successfully. Correct answer is option D, integrated the princely states successfully. The world which has arms not only wastes the money, it also wastes the sweat of laborers, intelligence of scientists, and wastes the dreams of the children, said by Eisenhower, John F. Kennedy, Abraham Lincoln, Barack Obama. Correct answer is option A, Eisenhower. Education as a public property argued by Mahatma Gandhiji, Jawaharlal Nehru, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Correct answer is option C, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. During this season, dew and fogs are common in India. Winter, summer, rainy season, retreating monsoon season. Correct answer is option A, winter. The farmers are in distress due to low yield, unscientific price fixation, lack of market facility, lack of agricultural equipment. Correct answer is option B, unscientific price fixation. The group of developed countries among the following is America, Canada, India, Canada, India, Sri Lanka, Australia, Somalia, Sri Lanka, America, Canada, Australia. Correct answer is option D, America, Canada, Australia. The first Indian company to be listed on NASDAQ is Wipro, Apollo, Infosys, Reliance. Correct answer option C, Infosys. Second main, answer the following questions in a sentence each. Who wrote the book Gulamagiri? Mahatma Jyotiba Phule wrote the book Gulamagiri. According to which agreement the British resident became the de facto ruler of Punjab? According to Lahore Agreement, the British resident became the de facto ruler of Punjab. 73rd Amendment of our Constitution is significant in rural development. Why? It established a uniform system of Panchayat Raj institutions throughout the country. What is disarmament? The process of elimination of specific arms step by step is called disarmament. What is the main aim of Silent Valley movement? To protect the Silent Valley's ecological balance. Which city of India is called as Silicon Valley of India? Correct answer is Bengaluru. Greater Himalaya are called as Himadri. Why? The Greater Himalayas are covered with snow throughout the year. That's why they are called as Himadri. Write any two opportunities for self-employment. Advertising agencies, marketing consultancy. Third main, answer the following questions in 2 to 4 sentences or points each. Scientific discoveries helped to discover new sea route to India. How? The invention of compass, astrolabes, gunpowder. Swami Vivekananda was the source of inspiration for youths. How? He worked to establish a casteless society. He also noticed exploitation, poverty, illiteracy, and divisions among the Indians. He believed that people should be educated first and then they themselves seek reformation. He wanted legal institutions to implement appropriate rules to support reformation. He also wanted people to stop following the Western ideals blindly. He believed it is the duty of the religion to provide light. Without this, religion itself is of no use. The one who responds to the poor is Mahatma, and the one who doesn't is Duratma. What are the major aims of Indian foreign policy? National security, enriching national economy, spreading the cultural richness of our country in other countries, by increasing the number of friendly countries and check the power of enemy countries, achieving world peace and coexistence. Or India tried to have good relationship with Pakistan. How? Both India and Pakistan share common cultural, economic ties, and the mutual exchanges in both the fields have continued. The mutual trade relationship have continued over since independence. Similarly, both have responded to each other's needs during emergency and natural calamities. What is the importance of transport in India? Transport plays a very important role in the development of all factors of human activities, namely the primary sector, the secondary sector, and the tertiary sector. Efficient and cheap means of transport helps to develop resources, agriculture, promotes industrial progress, widen the market, increases internal and external trade, provides employment, raises the income and standard of living of the people, encourages tourism, and helps defense. Mention the measures of conservation of soil, afforestation and reforestation, controlled overgrazing, counterfarming, construction of check dams, contour bunding, gully control, and bench terracing. Question number 22. Describe the nature of inequality in labor in India. Any labor that goes against dictum equal work, equal pay can be termed as inequality in labor. If differential payment is given for two people who put the same amount of time and efforts, then it is called as discrimination. Though women and men engage similar work, their compensations are not the same. In India, men are paid more for their work than women. Or explain the legal measures undertaken to eradicate untouchability. The Article 17 of the Indian Constitution prohibits untouchability. The Government of India has implemented Untouchability Crime Act in 1955. Civil Rights Protection Act was implemented in 1976 with the necessary changes to the Act of 1955. According to this Act, practicing untouchability is a crime. Universal rights to vote and participate in election has also been provided. Reservation has been given in the field of education, employment for SC and ST, along with backward classes. The Act of 1989 has given some specific responsibilities for the governments in the eradication of untouchability. What are the methods to follow to file a complaint in consumer court? There is no prescribed performa to file a case. The complaint may be typed one or handwritten. The complaint should include the name of the person, full address and telephone number, the person or organization against whom the complaint is made should be mentioned clearly with the address, the particulars of the goods by which the loss has incurred and the amount of loss should be specified clearly, the bill or receipt should be enclosed, there is no fee or stamp duty for the complaint, no advocate or lawyer is required, the consumer himself or herself can argue. What are the basic amenities needed to people to lead dignified life? Food, shelter, education, health, other similar social factors. Answer the following questions in 6 sentences or points each. Explain the impact of British land tax system. A new class of zamindars who exploited the farmers was created. The farmers who were subjected to the exploitation of the zamindars became landless slowly. Land became a commodity. Loans could be raised by mortgaging the lands. Many zamindars also had to mortgage their lands in order to pay the land taxes. The agriculture sector became commercialized and had to grow raw materials needed by industries back in England. The money lenders became strong. Explain the teachings of Brahma Samaj. Advocated monotheism, opposed meaningless rituals. Every person should live with dignity and no law or ritual should violate this provision. Brahma Samaj intended to assure equality to women by opposing polygamy. It advocated for a share in property to honor dignity of life to widow. It also opposed child marriage. It declared that one can take good things from anywhere. Explain the political and economic causes for 1857 revolt. First, let us see political causes. Due to the doctrine of lapse implemented by the British, many Indian kings had to lose their kingdoms. As a result of this policy, Satara, Jaipur, Jhansi, Udaipur and many other states became part of the British Empire. Dalhousie abolished the kingship of Tanjavur and Carnatic Nawabs. The British dethroned Mughal kings and many other kings. As a result, many soldiers depended on these kings became unemployed. Now let us see economic causes. Due to the development of industrialization in England, the Indian handicrafts and industries diminished. England, apart from being an industrialized country, became a workshop of industries. The artisans of India became unemployed. The weavers became the first victims as wool and cloth making industries suffered a lot. The Indian handicrafts became financially pathetic. The British levied high customs on Indian goods entering the market of England. Due to zamindari system, the farmers were exploited by zamindars. Land tax collection rights awarded to talukdars were withdrawn. By forming Inam Commission, Inam lands were also withdrawn. Explain the struggle of Dondiya Wagh against the British. Dondiya was born in a Maratha family of Channagiri. He was called as the Wagh, the tiger, due to his bravery. He started his career as a cavalry soldier in Hyder Ali's army and grew to the position of military general. He built his own private army and fought along with Tipu Sultan. Due to differences with Tipu, he was imprisoned. The British released him from the prison after the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. He built a small army and started his operations. He organized the army with the unhappy soldiers of Tipu's army and the feudatory rulers who had lost power. He captured Bidanur and Shivamogga forts and made unsuccessful attempt to capture Chitradurga fort. What are the factors that cause tension between India and Pakistan? India and Pakistan are the neighboring countries. Pakistan is not only neighboring country but it was an integral part of India during pre-independent period. But after the India Independent Act of 1947, both countries became independent sovereign countries. Soon after independence, foreign relationship between both the countries started. There are issues like terrorism, Jammu and Kashmir issue, and water sharing disputes are there between both the countries. Both the countries have fought 3 wars. Explain the differences between organized laborers and unorganized laborers. The sector which is enrolled as per the law of the government and provided fixed wages facilities within the framework of law is called organized sector. The unorganized sector of work is that sector where legal provisions do not completely governed. This sector is guided by Minimum Wages Act, Special Allowances Act, Provident Fund Act and many other acts in support of laborers. The minimum wages in this sector usually stays below the mandatory pay fixed by the governments. There is a need for registration, there is no need for registration. This sector follows the legal provisions of the government. This sector does not follow the legal provisions of the government. It is also mandatory for them to pay taxes. There are no tax provisions here. School, hospital, industries, government related services, commercial banks, life insurance companies, military and others belong to this sector. Vehicle repair, selling of goods like vegetable, fish on head, puncture repairers and other belong to this sector. There is fixed time or duration for this work. There is no fixed time or duration for this work. The area under forest has been declining in recent days in India. Substantiate the statement. The expansion of agricultural land, construction of roads and railway, irrigation projects, industrialization, urbanization, overgrazing, forest fires, etc. Due to all these reasons, the area under forest has been declining in recent days in India. Industries played prominent role in the economic development of a country. Explain. Industries are vital for economic progress. The development of industries reduces the reliance on primary products, imported goods, helps to increase the national and per capita income and earn foreign exchange. Also create job opportunities and raise GDP and the living standard of the people. They help to reduce the pressure on agriculture. Or explain the precautionary measures to be taken to reduce the effects of earthquake. Avoid the human settlements in the earthquake prone zones. Follow earthquake resistant designs for the construction of buildings. Use building materials of high quality and avoid high rise buildings. Restrict the over groundwater mining. Restrict urban growth in the hilly areas with high seismic vulnerability. Avoid the construction of large dams and reservoirs. Stop deforestation and heavy quarrying activities. Explain the human development indicators. The core capabilities of a country's population are defined, measured, and combined to derive the composite HDI. Health is measured in terms of life expectancy. Education is measured in terms of literary attainments. Purchasing power through per capita income. Or explain Gandhiji's concept of Grama swarajya in the light of decentralization. Providing administrative power and the responsibility of developing the village to people themselves is called decentralization. It is a process through which power sharing occurs and people participate in decision making. It is also a process that aims at planning and development from below. This process was called as Grama swarajya by Mahatma Gandhi. Decentralization reduces various kinds of exploitation, upholds human independence and dignity. List out the services offered by banks, debit card and credit cards, safe deposit lockers, personal loans, trust services, home and vehicle loans, signature guarantees, mutual funds, e-banking. Or explain the role of entrepreneurs in the economic development of a country. Entrepreneurs promote capital formation by mobilizing the idle savings of the citizens. They employ resources for setting up their enterprises. Entrepreneurs provide large-scale employment to artisans, technically qualified persons and professionals. Entrepreneurs help the country to increase the gross domestic product (GDP) and per capita income. Entrepreneurs promote development of industries. Entrepreneurs contribute towards the development of society by reducing concentration of income and wealth. Entrepreneurs promote country's export trade. Entrepreneurs work in an environment of changing technology and try to maximize profits by innovations. Answer the following questions in about 8 sentences or points each. Explain the role of Bala Gangadhar Tilak in the freedom struggle of India. Tilak declared, "Swaraj is my birthright, I would definitely get it back. Attaining complete freedom was the aim of radicals." He tried to organize the common people of India. He attempted to organize people by employing religious celebrations too. He used Ganesha, Shivaji and Durga celebrations to organize people against the British. He published KSEEB in Marathi and Maratha in English languages. He encouraged common people to protest against the British. The radical writings of Tilak galvanized the common people. The British arrested Tilak due to these developments. He wrote a book, Gita Rahasya, in the prison, which further fueled the freedom fervor. Or explain the protests of farmers and tribal people in the freedom struggle of India. During the British administrations, many farmers rebelled against the British planters and zamindars. They opposed the indigo cropping in Champaranya district. They protested against land tax. Farmers of Tebaga, Malabar and other places revolted against the British and zamindars under the influence of the Congress. Many of the protests were organized under the banner of Kisan Sabha, which was influenced by leftist ideologies. These protests were often in favor of the Congress and many times stood opposed to Congress. In Telangana, farmers protested against the zamindars and Nizam's Razaks. The farmers of Bengal rose against the zamindars. In Maharashtra, farmers protested against low wages for them. Now let us see tribal movement. The tax and forest policies implemented during the British administration were the reasons for tribal revolts. Among them, revolts of Santala, Kola, Munda are important. Halagali Beda's revolt of Karnataka is another notable revolt. The revolt of Santala tribe is considered as an important revolt in India. The people of this tribe are present in the hilly areas of Bengal Odisha states. With the implementation of permanent zamindar system, these people became landless. The land developed by them was taken over by the zamindars. The zamindars, moneylenders, and the company government became the exploiters of the Santala tribe. Their peace-loving nature and civilized manners were exploited by the government. The upset Santalas met secretly and decided to loot the zamindars and the moneylenders. The contributions of Jawaharlal Nehru as the first Prime Minister of India are unforgettable. Substantiate. As the Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru can be seen as the architect of industrialization in modern India. He was successful in bringing all the princely states of India together. He also laid foundation for the diverse culture of India by implementing language-based reorganization of states policy. He had firmly believed that only complete industrialization can bring development. He sought to develop India through 5-year plans. He sought to develop infrastructure and heavy industries through these 5-year plans. With the aim of mastering atomic energy, he laid the foundation for that under the leadership of H.J. Baba. On the external affairs front, India wanted to stay away from both the powerful blocs of Cold War period and advocated non-aligned movement. He was instrumental in staying away from power politics by adhering to Panchashila principles. Explain the causes and remedial measures for unemployment. First, let us see the causes for unemployment. Huge population, improved technology, shortage of natural resources, over-dependency of agriculture, ruined cottage industries, lack of skill-based education. Remedial measures for unemployment. Steps have been taken to improve the skill level of the job seekers, providing loans and subsidy to enable people to engage in self-employment, inculcate world-class skill to our people so that they compete with globalized production. Every citizen of the country should be encouraged to indulge in one or the other employment by providing job-oriented course to all. Question number 37. What are the different types of agriculture followed in India? Subsistence farming, intensive farming, commercial farming, mixed farming, plantation farming, dry farming, humid farming, irrigation farming. Sixth main, question number 38. Draw an outline map of India and mark the following in it. 82.5 degree east longitude, Mount K2 or Godwin Austen, Gobind Sagar, Chhatrapati Shivaji International Airport. First one, 82.5 degree east longitude. Second one, Mount K2 or Godwin Austen. Third one, Gobind Sagar. Fourth one, Chhatrapati Shivaji International Airport.